Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be briefly going over the minigame of Bounty Hunter in Gems of War. Bounty Hunter is a monthly event that can occur. You can get there by going under Games and then going over to Bounty. It'll either tell you right here how much time is until the next Bounty Hunter, or if there is currently already a Bounty Hunter active, it will tell you how much is remaining in the current Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter lasts from 3 days, and it lasts from the Friday reset all the way until the Monday reset, so essentially the entirety of the weekend. As far as the minigame itself, it's one of the best ways in the game to be able to obtain various orbs. So if you've been looking for an orange orb to trait your troops, or a blue one in order to ascend them, it is a pretty good place to be able to pick up 1 or 2 of them as a newer player. As far as the actual minigame itself, you end up doing battles based on a sigil system. Every single battle that you go into will end up using one of these little sigils. You get 4 per day over the 3 days for a total of 12 for free, and of course you could buy additional ones underneath the shop if you so chose to. As well as in the shop, you can end up getting a bounty captain. A bounty captain will end up giving twice the effectiveness of its bounty boost. All bounty troops will give you a bonus when used within the bounty event, and you generally want to build your bounty teams using as many of these bonuses as possible. The bounty captain in particular, which are only available through gems every single bounty event, will end up having twice the effectiveness. So at rare it only has it 2 times, at ultra rare 3 times, so on and so forth all the way to max ascension, but the captain in specific for the given week will have twice that effectiveness. So even though this is a rare currently only giving a 2 times bonus, since it is the captain, it will end up giving 4 times the bonus. For the most part, as a newer player, you can pretty much completely either ignore the shop or only go for the first 2, which only cost 90 gems, which most players have as spare value, so not really too much to go into to just get 1 single copy of it. You'd probably want to do this all the way up until you have your all of your bounty troops up to epic, and after you've gotten them to epic or higher rarity, you would then want to go and never really bother with this again unless you're planning on going all the way to max them out for all the rewards. As far as the actual battles themselves, as a newer player or even a mid-range player, you're going to want to find the furthest battle that you can go to using 4 bounty troops. You of course can use things other than bounty troops, but given if you can't take out all of these battles, you're pretty much better off just sitting at a lower battle using the highest bonus you can. So as you can see right here on this account, we are going with the 4th battle because we have ridiculously low stats. We can use a triple combo that currently exists of Parrot, Rift Lynx, and Scavenger. This allows us to cover every single color. Eventually we may want to go and replace one of these out for whenever we get a better bounty troop. One other pretty noteworthy one that currently exists is the Feral Hound. There are very few bounty troops that currently exist. The easiest way to go find them is just simply type in bounty, and as you can see here are the current 7. We don't really have too much to choose from since they only add a new one every single month, but the main 2 to always consider building your team around, if you can fit either of them or both of them into the team, is a Parrot, which has a really nice silence, as well as the Feral Hound, which can give you barrier, and it's really good for mana accumulation. But as you can see, every single one of these has the trait of the bounty. This ends up giving us higher points for the multiplier within the bounty itself. It's one of the reasons why you want to focus your entire team or most of your team into a full bounty team. Later on in the game, you would build something like the captain, followed by the Parrot, followed by Feral Hound, followed by a Yagwe. But if you don't have that, you'd most likely just want to sit at one of the lower battles with something like this, particularly if you can't take the higher stats of the higher battles. But anyways, as you can see here, 4th battle, we'll just go right into it using this. It's pretty straightforward, most of the battles. You can scout them out and see which specific ones are easier for you. Generally, you're going to want to go to the highest possible battle that you can do, that you can easily win at about 100% rate. And that's generally the furthest you want to go. If you feel like you're going to lose it a lot, it's because of the limited amount of battles that you have, you are most likely going to want to go down to a slightly easier battle when you are doing your team. So right here, we're just going to go and basically just play the battle out normally. As far as how you perform within the battle, it is 100% irrelevant. Your performance in the battle has no impact onto your actual score. The only thing that matters is the amount of bounty bonus that you put into your team at the beginning of the battle. So right here, all we really have to do is just apply damage to whatever their damage sources is. In this case, the biggest one is mainly just the thing that actually got us right now, the Bone Naga. Once we clear out the Bone Naga, it's going to be pretty easy. I also want to clear out his first slot because in this particular instance, he's running with an Entangle, so we don't want him entangling us and preventing us from being able to use our skulls. So now with that down, that's one of the biggest disables that he has kind of disabled. What we can go do now is go silence some of his more annoying troops, and once we get those down, it's pretty much just going to be a very easy win. So we're going to silence this. Before we do, let me just grab that mana. And never mind, looks like we'll get a bunch of everything right there. Fully upped, we just go through that, take another little poke. Very nice, go for another little poke, that'll end up killing it out, silence the other one so it can't do anything, and we'll pretty much be good to go from there. So we'll go apply a nice little silence to it, throw it for a little bit of hit. Silence prevents them from being able to cast, so it makes it so it can't accumulate any mana, and it can't cast its ability for its duration. Of course, as it gets cleansed, it will be able to, but at least for now, it won't. So right here, looks like some pretty bad moves. None of them I really want to go for. I guess we'll take the brown down. That doesn't seem to give it anything, so we'll just go kill it with that skull right there. Oops, almost took it incorrectly. Oh, I thought that would align. Well, it doesn't matter. We already have the damage, and down it goes. And you pretty much just keep doing that. As you can see, all of the multipliers that we had, the 10 times bonus, ended up applying to the amount of bounty points. So you see right there, we got 400 points. Right here, we had a 40 battle, and with a 10 times multiplier, it just simply multiplies it out. With the 12 battles that you end up getting from just going and logging in every single day, you can obtain, doing exactly what we just did with a 10 times bonus on the 4th battle, 6,600 points. This would be able to go all the way up to reward 10, as well as possibly up to reward 11, depending on how lucky you end up getting with Val Ravens. I calculated that out as about 18 battles, at about a 1 in 5 rate of getting Val Raven. It is technically a little bit more common to get Val Raven, though as a newer player without enough damage to specifically focus out the Val Raven, it may sometimes occasionally escape. You do want to focus your damage on it, as it has a 30% chance every single time it casts to be able to invade. But as far as newer players are concerned, you always want to be going for at least this first orb right here underneath reward 9. You really don't need to go any further than that. If you have higher bounty troops and stuff like that, you might be able to get to things like 11, especially if you go and spend 90 gems to get one of the leader things and the slightly extra battles, as well as possibly 12. But I wouldn't really bother going any further than 12, as it will start costing you gems to really be able to get any further. And at that point, it most likely wouldn't really be worth your time unless you're going and completely maxing out, which requires relatively high stats and a Yagway in most instances, or another really heavy mythic like Infernus, or just anything currently that works really good with red and purple, as there is very, very few things to use within Bounty that is particularly effective. As you can see, there's only the 7 troops from earlier, so not too much to choose from, but we'll keep getting more and more, and as time goes by, there will be more Bounty synergies that we'll be able to use that will hopefully be able to score even higher than that. But just go for reward 6. This is every single reward that you would end up getting with your free battles. Pretty easy to do, just from the standard ones that you end up getting. 1 Orb of Chaos, 5 runics of various kind, 5 majors, and 4 minors, 29,000 gold, which is about the same amount of gold that you would have spent in the same amount of time in PvP. A little bit of souls, you get a little bit of diamonds, some gems, which if you didn't even pay any gems, this is pure profit right there, and some gem keys, which could go throw into troops. And we'll see what we get from our 1 orb. The orange and purple one probably being the absolute best for us this early in the game, and of course, to keep up with the theme on my other account, we get the green orb, the most useless one. Ideally, you would not get that one. That is absolute trash. But any of the other ones are very, very useful to use on various troops. The orange one you generally want to use on legends and mythics to get their traits up a little bit easier, like on their 2nd and 3rd trait. The ascension one you want to use on things that have been ascended up to legendary, so you can ascend them to mythic. And the purple one you could use just for more seals, which you use into guild keys, and that will just give you some more keys that you can then use for various troop accumulation. But that is pretty much everything with these. There is a leaderboard, though as a newer player you would never bother be going for it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Occurs once a month. Definitely very worth doing if you have the time. Anyways, if you guys still have any other questions, or if anything changes with Bounty Hunter that you want to know about, feel free to leave it on this video and I'll make sure to go and answer them. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.